Hey guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review. This one is for my live review of the February 28th, 2018 edition of NXT. As we're going to take a look back at everything that happened on this nice episode of NXT. This is kind of like a fallout episode after what happened last week with Johnny Gargano being forced to leave NXT after losing in the match with Andrade Cien Almas, the fourth time they faced each other, and the second time for the NXT Championship, where Gargano's former ally Tommaso Ciampa came out of nowhere to cost him the match, pretty much causing Gargano to be terminated. So this was a little bit of a fallout. We got fallout from that. We had our preparations for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, a couple other good wrestling matches that I enjoyed. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good show we got this week for NXT. As always, if you're watching this live, you may participate in the live chat. If not, then if you watch this live, leave that down in the comment section as always. So let's just get right into this. We had just a recap of what happened last week. Again with the match and the post angle, and sometimes we did get shown the exclusive footage of Johnny Gargano signing his termination papers, and he's told that he may fulfill his other obligations. Already had media appearances, house shows, and whatnot, and he would most likely be finished in the next few weeks. The referee from the match came to apologize to him. He said he made a mistake, but Johnny shook his hand and forgave him, and he signed the papers and said Regal, and Johnny walked out. So nothing happened this week with Johnny and Tommaso, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks. I found it a little interesting, though. The intro was edited a little bit, and usually you see like a different superstar in each shot or whatnot, but Tommaso Ciampa was in there 3 times. Twice we got the shot that ended the show last week of him going like, and then another one we saw of a close up of Ciampa's face. So I thought that was interesting in that way as well. That it was shown 3 times. But getting right into the action, we first saw with a match that I was kind of surprised to see this match already, because I thought this match was going to be taking place at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, but we got it tonight, so I'm not sure where it was still a good match. Just not sure if either Velveteen Dream or Tyler Bate will not have a match at TakeOver New Orleans. They still could, but we'll see what happens. But this match I thought was pretty good. Both these guys, have quick, fast-paced moving styles. They both seem they can adjust to the type of wrestler they're wrestling, whether it's a heavyweight or a high flyer or a technical wrestler and whatnot. So yeah, I hope to definitely sorry, I got completely sidetracked for a second. Sorry, I completely lost them. Anyways, but I do wonder what's going to happen for Velveteen Dream. I feel like with his momentum picking up big time, especially since TakeOver War Games, he had a match with Cassius Ohno, and then I know NXT tends to rotate around, so I wonder where they go from here for Velveteen Dream. I mean, there's a chance he may not be on the next TakeOver pay-per-view, which I guess I'd be okay with. So, but also it's another thing to note here that we had that Tyler Bate lost again, and he has been losing a lot since he lost the title at TakeOver Chicago last year for the United Kingdom Championship, and he Tyler Bate though has been on a losing streak since then. I haven't really won too many matches. About a month or 2 ago, I did hear, or maybe even just a few weeks ago, I did read a rumor, and Tyler Bate, I guess, did deny it on Twitter, that he does have some backstage heat because around the time where he dropped the UK title, I guess they're supposed to do some UK live tour that unfortunately he already had obligations, wasn't supposed to make it. So ever since then, he apparently has had heat. Now, my thing is though, is Tyler Bate would have heat on the main roster. He'd be treated like complete crap. Well, even though he's been losing, Tyler Bate's been losing strong, but still putting on good matches. And he did deny that this existed. But he did deny this existed, but he continues to lose. So you do wonder, and they didn't even mention it tonight. They didn't mention how many matches he's lost in a row, but you do wonder what is definitely going on with Tyler Bate. And I hope the Velveteen Dream continues to momentum as well. I think he could be in the breakout star of the year this year, or even one of the best stars of the year in NXT. But I thought that was a pretty good first match we had between these two. We then had Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain standing on a dark stairwell to pretty much just talk about their first round match of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which starts next week. It's going to be a rematch, actually, of the finals for the last Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic between TM61 and the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. A rematch between them two, which I think this time TM61 should win. I kind of hoped. Well, then again, I'm even thinking this too with looking at 205 Live. Even though I keep thinking that Cedric Alexander is going to win the Cruiserweight title, but with Triple H involved, it does feel like he does try to throw in some swerves there, and something more predictable. But the end results are still good. It would have been nice to see this match between AOP and TM61 a little bit later on, but I think they can do it. And I'm trying to remember if I remember the bracket again. I try to remember who I would like them to go and face off against for the championship. I had to look at the bracket, but I had my pick set. I just can't remember off the top of my head who it was now, but I think TM61 should win this. And I do think that after this, AOP will definitely be moved to the main roster after WrestleMania. So we had that, and then we had a match. It was Adam Cole taking on. Now I thought it was Cesar Bononi, but it's Cesar Bononi, as Adam Cole and whoever the ring announcer's name is for NXT said. Before the match started, though, Cole grabbed a microphone and he asked the crowd if they knows who he's in the ring with, and he says a round of applause for the NXT Future Star of the Year. He says Bononi belongs in the Undisputed Era, and he gives him an Undisputed Era t-shirt. Bononi looks like thoughtfully whatnot, but then Cole just attacks him. And then eventually it leads Bononi try to get back up, because I didn't really notice until again tonight how big Bononi is, but he gets back, try to get some offense in, but with help from the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole does pick up the victory over Cesar Bononi with a wizard and his knee to the back of the head. Then we had a video package of Kairi Sane, her history with Shayna Baszler. They were the two finalists for the Mae Young Classic. They put on a pretty good match there. And then it's when Shayna Baszler first came around to NXT. She first targeted Kairi Sane, put her out of action for a while. Now she's been going after the champion Ember Moon ever since. So with Sane returning last week or 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, they were going to have a match tonight to settle their differences after what went down. And then we had the Street Profits in an interview people about who won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It was just Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins planning to be other people. But people kept saying that the Street Profits were going to win. And then we got the advertisement for AOP versus TM61 next week. We had the match between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. It was a pretty good match. As always, Shayna Baszler is just trying to, intimidate Kairi, but, Kairi fought strong. Shayna got the upper hand on her, and she eventually got Kairi to submit to the Karafuda clutch. And then after she got Kairi to tap out, so that's Kairi's first lost in NXT, I believe, which I would have liked to them. Well, they can't really make winning like special for everybody, but I feel like with Kairi Sane, they could have made it special in some ways. But it's pretty obvious Kairi Sane isn't really Asuka, and Shayna Baszler, is just the one who has the momentum right now. But yeah, so Shayna Baszler gets the win. Afterwards, she goes to the announcing. We don't hear her on the microphone. She starts screaming out. She's upset and that Ember Moon called her a coward, and she calls out Ember, saying she'll either leave their rematch with the title or a limb. So yeah, again, we're most likely going to gain Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon again. I think this time we will see Shayna Baszler win the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm predicting still a submission match, since that's Shayna Baszler's bread and butter submissions. She is a submission magician. We then had Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega make their way out, and Zelina introduces him as the greatest champion in NXT history, or should I call him Mr. 4-0. Everyone thought Johnny Gargano was going to win. Even Johnny thought he would win, and that's why he brought his family, but he lost 4 times, a clean sweep. Johnny Gargano earned their respect, while Almas earns money and fame. Unlike most women, she doesn't feed off her man's success. She created it. And Andrade gets on the mic and says many of the same things, and just can't really understand what he's saying. And then they make their way out. But then all of a sudden, Aleister Black comes out to the ring, but he doesn't come out from the stage again. He came out from like a tunnel, like in between, the stands. And with the smoke, he got out. He stared down Andrade Cien Almas, which is obvious. He's come for the NXT Championship. I think that's the best route for him to go at this point. He's about to speak. All of a sudden, Killian Dane's music hits, and Dane came out and made to the ring and screamed to Aleister, "You're in my path." And Vega and Almas just looking like they're so confused. Like it's pretty obvious these guys are coming after you for your title. And then Almas and Black start brawling. And then Almas and Vega are like, "Oh well, let's leave." So Almas and Vega and Almas, they're not brawling. Dane and Black brawl. And then Black gets flat with a crossbody, and he stands tall. So I don't know if we're probably going to be seeing a number 1 contenders match for the NXT Championship, or if we've already seen Almas and Aleister Black exactly 1 year ago when Black debuted to TakeOver Orlando. So maybe they may go with a triple threat for the NXT Championship between Killian Dane and Aleister Black. Either way, I'd be cool with it. I'd be cool with seeing Almas and Black, because Almas is definitely better as a wrestler and character than he was a year ago. Whenever he shoot. A better character, though, when a year ago, before he had Zelina Vega, he definitely developed better character and found his path. So it won't be that bad, but it's just one of those matches. It's like Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas. I can understand, having matches again for the champion, because they have a story there where Almas and Black, didn't really. But I can't say it's gonna be a bad match, and I still look forward to seeing whatever happens. I do believe Aleister Black is winning the NXT Championship at TakeOver New Orleans. That's my thoughts on NXT this week, guys. I'll give it a B+. Really strong show. Enjoyed it. Nobody in the live chat, that's okay. What's your thoughts on this week's episode of NXT? Drop down in the comment section below. Be sure to click that like and subscribe on the channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. I'll try to get Road WrestleMania episode 26 uploaded soon, so it'll be up whenever. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Have a good night.